Android was founded a bit earlier, in 2003, by Andy Rubin. The company's initial intention was to develop an advanced operating system for digital cameras. However, just 5 months later, the company presented Android as an operating system for mobile devices. The company gradually developed, and in 2005 it was acquired by Google. iOS was released slightly later, with the first version debuting in 2007 alongside the iPhone 2G, presented at an event by Steve Jobs. Both operating systems use an intuitive and similar interface. However, iOS can accommodate more icons on its home screen, whereas Android counters this with its widgets feature, which iOS lacks. When it comes to performance, iOS generally exhibits higher performance due to its optimization for specific Apple devices and proprietary iOS software. On the other hand, Android runs on a wide variety of devices, making it difficult to objectively evaluate its overall performance. However, flagship Android smartphones are capable of rivaling iOS in performance and are not ready to give up their position as leaders. Next, let's discuss app support. Apple invests significant effort in promoting its proprietary product and has curated a large collection of quality apps in the App Store. Android, while unable to boast the same level of quality, offers a much larger variety. The App Store contains around 2 million high-quality apps, whereas Google Play offers approximately 3 million apps. Additionally, Android allows users to download apps from third-party websites, though this capability comes with increased risks. Security is a critical factor when choosing an operating system. Statistically, Android is more prone to hacker attacks. But why? The key difference between Android and iOS lies in the fact that Android was initially developed as an open-source operating system and continues to maintain open-source availability. There is even an organization called the Android Open Source Project, which provides Android source code to the public. This makes it easier to bypass restrictions imposed by manufacturers. Moreover, since 71% of devices on the market run on Android, this becomes another factor why hackers target this operating system. If a vulnerability is discovered, a larger number of users will be at risk. Customization is another area where Android excels. It offers more customization options for the interface and overall control over the device compared to iOS. However, a notable advantage of iOS is that Apple provides longer system update support for their phones, around 6 years. In contrast, Samsung offers 5 years, Xiaomi offers 3 years of updates and 4 years of security patches depending on the series, and Sony guarantees 2 years of updates and 3 years of patches. Now let's move to voice assistants. In 2011, Apple introduced its voice assistant Siri, which was revolutionary at the time. Over time, Android also launched its own voice assistant, Google Assistant. But which one is better? Gene Munster from Loop Ventures conducted a large-scale study where each voice assistant was asked 800 different questions. The winner of this test was Google Assistant, which provided 92.9% correct answers compared to Siri's 83.1%. However, Siri excels in handling commands thanks to its deep integration with the iPhone. It effortlessly performs tasks like making calls, sending messages, setting alarms, adding calendar events, and much more. On the other hand, Google Assistant shines in navigation-related queries, providing 98% correct results, which is highly commendable. Finally, let's compare the cost of devices running these operating systems. iOS is installed exclusively on Apple devices. The brand is considered premium due to build quality and price. Meanwhile, Android is installed on a huge number of devices from various manufacturers such as Samsung, Google, OnePlus, Xiaomi, Oppo, Vivo, Huawei, Motorola, Sony, and LG, among many others. This results in a wide range of prices, from budget phones with a relatively small price tag to flagship models that sell for more. High-end Android devices compete with the iPhone in build quality and, accordingly, in price. Therefore, the cost largely depends on the specific phone model. This diversity makes Android devices accessible to a wider audience, while iOS remains a high-end option, particularly attractive to those invested in the Apple ecosystem.